Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, John Howell here and welcome to today's market update. We're going to be looking at the obviously the indices, Sp500, be looking at the Nasdaq, the Dow. Also be looking at the futures market as well too, like the actual futures chart as well, because I've got a really interesting pattern that I want to share with you that may be signaling that that something we're about to see some downside to come. Maybe, right? It's a maybe. Something you want to watch out for. I want to share that with you. I also want to share with you what the banking sector is doing, because the banking sector right now is actually overall, the big picture is actually not looking good, and what I see also fundamentally within the banking sector. Also, I want to share Tesla, because if Tesla confirms what I see as a false breakout, then we could actually see more downside to come when it comes to Tesla. And also, last but least, I also want to share with you a valuation sort of indicator that I've been reading on Zero Hedge, and why we are at the highest we have been since 98. So the valuation, it's absolutely just incredible. So that's what I want to share with you today. Guys, before I do start, guys, I'm running a special to my actual coaching program. For you guys know that I have a private coaching program where you get weekly coaching from me every single week. And you get my strategy, you get my scanning codes and all that sort of stuff to find the trades. And plus also access to the Facebook group where I'm coaching you every single day. Normally $10,000, guys, but $2,500 get you access today, and it gets you access for the rest of this year. So if the first person to email me at Howell, Howell, trader at gmail.com, that's howtrader at gmail.com, the first person. I'm only doing this for one person to help people out because I've been getting a lot of emails. So email me at howtrader at gmail.com. First person, only $2,500, and then you get access to me for the rest of this year, every single week, every single day. Get access to my trading strategy and what I'm doing on a short-term, long-term basis as well too. So the first person to email me. Let's get straight into the markets right now. So the interesting thing I want to share with you when it comes to the actual stock market is this, right? The first thing I want to share with you is this. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. I was looking at these indicators before, but my main thing is the main thing, right? The main thing is the main thing. Let me just duplicate this for a minute, and I just want to got all these moving averages here, right? And then there we go from there to there. Or we can just use this chart here, the blank chart. Let's use this one through here. Now, the first thing I want to share with you when it comes to the market itself, right? The Sp500, look what's happening through here. We're still below our trend line here, right? So we're not out of the woodworks yet. The hard thing about this, guys, is that we are still in a very big bull market through here. So, you know, it's really now what's happening. We still have this island reversal where the market actually sort of gapped up, gapped down. And you can see what actually happened today, right? Little gap up, but we're still just below this trend line. And people say, oh, John, why did you draw the trend line there? It's like, because if you see, it started here, we had a bounce here, and you can see where we are right now. We're still getting a bounce where we are right now. So we're not out of the woodwork yet. If we get back above this trend line, then we're probably going to race to all-time new highs on the Sp500. Of what we're seeing through there. So it's really, really interesting there. The thing you want to watch out for when it comes to this is the rollover. If we do start to roll over like that, that's going to create some sort of lower high, and then we're probably likely to start to see a nicer move down from there. If we don't get that lower high moving on through the next week, then we're probably going to shoot to the upside. So if we do start to get that lower high, then where this island reversal is going to start to really kick into play, and we're going to start to see more downside to come. You can see what I'm saying through here, right? We had a drop down, a little drop up, it had a little lower high, broke it, and then we had a nice move down. So if we do get that here, then we're likely to drop down. I'm not a bull or bear, guys. I'm just reading what the market's telling me right now. And plus the market is very, 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 very sort of volatile, very sort of to the upside there. So that's the same. That's that there. The Dow Jones is slightly doing sort of the same sort of thing as the Sp500. And the Nasdaq actually slightly broke back above its high again, but we're below this trend line here once again. So It's really interesting also. One thing I want to share with you guys when it comes to these markets is, look at this here, right? Is this the same pattern that, are we seeing the same pattern right before the market crash? And what I'm saying by that is that, look at this here, right? Look how vertical this move was. Look how vertical this move was. If I draw an arrow, right, from the start point here to the end point there, we can see where the arrow is, right? See the angle of that arrow? If I draw a arrow from this start point here to this start point here, notice how the angle of this move is so much more what? Vertical. So if this level back here, right, slowly going up, if that there, in this angle through here, created a bubble through there, then are we going to see the same thing through here? Once again, we're on the Nasdaq there, guys. Once again, if we do fail through here and then we start to roll over, I'm not saying we are, but if we do, that's when we're probably likely to start to see a lot more downside to come out of there when it comes to the Nasdaq. That is, but the Nasdaq, guys, it's such a vertical move. It's such a what we call a blow off. Same for the Sp500, as you can see here, right? You can see how that last time, look at this here. Last time we had a move from there to there. Look at the angle. Now we have what? From there to there. See the overall angle from the bottom to the top so far? The overall angle has been so much more on a movement to the upside. So that's where, like, guys, we've done so much price in a short period of time that's why I believe we're probably likely to start to see a rollover here soon. Now, it's really hard to say that, right? Firstly, we have an island reversal, which is a bearish indicator, but we are in a big upward trend here, which is a bullish indicator. But we're getting very, very, very overstretched, which is a bearish indicator, and plus we're below our support lines, which is a bearish indicator, right? So to me, it's a lot of bearishness through here. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm a lot more bearish on this, but the overall market is still stepping higher. So that's where it's hard. But if we do start to get that roll over here, guys, that lower high, watch out for that, because that's when we can start to see a movement on the downside from there. So, and even if the Nasdaq does start to break up to a new high, this Nasdaq chart here, even if we do break up to a new high here, guys, I would not want to be long the Nasdaq right there. The Nasdaq, of all of them, even if we do break up to another new high here, guys, that's going to probably be a sucker rally. And just like the S&P and the Dow did, look what happened. Look what happened back here, right? We did what? We broke up. We just slightly broke up to a new high, and then we dumped. I'm very, very, very confident that if the Nasdaq gives us another new high, it's going to get more people back into the markets, and it's going to be one big massive sucker rally. I don't buy this rally whatsoever. We need to come back at least a little bit to start to get some equilibrium in the markets. It's especially on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is just absolutely just crazy. So we are so overstretched, so over moved to the upside right now that I just don't see. Even if we do get a little bit more upside. Now, that being said, guys, we could be in one big massive blow off top right now before we start to see the bear market. But when it comes to that there, guys, I just don't see it. And one thing that I'll share with you is this article here that I was reading on Zero Hedge. And this is about, there's a great disconnect has emerged. And as you can see here, right, look at this here. This is a really, really awesome chart here, right? So this is the valuation composite indicator, and you can see where we are right now, right? This is basically telling us that stocks are getting to the point now where the overvaluation indicator is telling us that, listen, a lot of stocks out there are massively overvalued. Right now, more than we have since the 1980s, right? 2000s, right? For the last 20 years, we can see that where we are right now. And a lot of the big stocks, like the banking sector, which I'm going to get into in a minute as well too, they're not even nowhere near their highest, right? So we're starting in very big overvaluations sort of sentiment through here. But if I continue down through here, one thing I want to share with you is this one right here, right? Hedge funds' current net exposure to the equity market is now getting to its highest point and now getting to its highest point since we've done for a very, very long time, right? Which simply means their net exposure to the markets. Simply means that, how much exposure they have in the markets. That's very, very, very scary, right? Because as you can see, right, the net exposure generally doesn't get more than 50% on the hedge funds. But now we're getting up to those major points. Last one was 06 before the market actually crashed. And the last point was up here was 2018 before we actually started to collapse as well too. So we're starting to get a lot of, hedge funds are starting to come back into the markets as well too when it comes to, let me see this here, when it comes to that there. Let me just delete this off the screen. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you there, guys, when it comes to the overvaluation, what I'm trying to say here. The stocks, how overvalued they are, how overvalued they are. Now, the interesting thing as well too, guys, is that if you look at what's happening right now when it comes to this here, and look at this here, if I look at the banking sector as well too, guys, right, the banking sector right now is looking really, really, really weak. Let me bring this chart up through here. Let me squeeze this right up as much as possible. I'll bring up the weekly chart right now. And if I bring up this weekly chart, I'm going to squeeze up as much as I can, and I'm going to draw some trend lines from there to there. All right, and the reason why I'm drawing it from there to there, guys, I'm just trying to pick up as many as touches as possible. So it's probably something through there. All right, see how we've been above this trend line here for quite some time. What do we get here? Big false breakout, and then a big drop down. We came down, created a lower low. Now we rallied up. Look what we're getting right now. Right, we're rallying back up. Now, this is the XLF, so the financial sector, banking sector. Now, no doubt, guys, that they're not receiving the funds that they used to, right, because of the forbearance. And if they think they're going to start to get back to normal when the forbearance is over, then they've got nothing coming, right? So there's going to be lots of foreclosures, and banks are going to be hurt, and it's going to be pretty bad, guys. 2021 is going to be a bad year for a lot of the world. But look what's happening through here. Let me see if I'll bring this chart up through here on a weekly chart, just so I can show you what I'm seeing here. Zooming in here, look what's happened here, right? We ran up, and then so we were above this trend line. Now we actually broke back above, and now we came back down. And look what's happening right now. We're just rejecting that level through there. So the overall pattern we're seeing right now is we're seeing this low through here, a lower low through here. This we're probably like going to form a lower high here on the weekly chart. And even if we do start to do something like this, I do see something like that on the banking sector coming involved. That's where, guys, Warren Buffett is in a lot of cash right now. It's not because of he just knows that right now stocks don't look as good as as they should, right? And so he knows that if you look at the Buffett indicator as well too, I haven't got it here, but the Buffett indicator definitely shows you that the stocks are massively overvalued, as we just saw with some of those charts as well too. So the banking sector right now, stocks like even JP Morgan, right? So JP Morgan, look what happened here, right? One big blow off top, and now we come back down, and now we're starting to form this here. I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, if this is one big shoulder, massive blow off, come back down, another shoulder through here. So we may do something like that, and then start to see something like that coming into the banking sector, moving into the end of this year, and especially into next year, especially after JobKeeper, or should I say Job Killer starts. I say JobKeeper stops, Job Killer starts, which simply means, I didn't realize that, but people are getting like, what, $600 a week in this JobKeeper? Oh my goodness. Is that right, guys? Leave a comment below. Is that right for people in America? $600 a week not to work? Holy dooly. That's crazy, right? That's what's that? $600, $1,200, $2,400 a month, right? So it's like, it's almost $2,500 a month to not work. I'm telling you right now, guys, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people, right? Pissed off people in the markets when they realize they got no job and the JobKeeper payment has stopped. Oh my goodness, it's going to be absolutely crazy, right? Because guess what, guys? Most people are not saving their money. People are like, oh, the 1%, oh my goodness, the 1% are getting richer and I'm not. Well, hello, you've just been getting all this money for JobKeeper. Did you ever think about, doing that to educate yourself about the market? So maybe trying to get ahead and not try to get rich quick, but maybe try to position yourself for some big moves. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys, when it comes to that as well too. And the last but least, guys, in today's update, I want to share with you something that I've been noticing when it comes to the good old Tesla. Tesla. And that is, look at this here, guys, right? Firstly, big move up on that chart there, right? The next thing I want to share with you, look at this big move up through here. Now, notice what's happening through here, okay, on Tesla. Firstly, we have this ultimate high point up through here, right? So we have this high point up through here. So with Tesla, we have this high point up through here, high point up through here. We have a low, higher low. So the market's trending up through here, right? But notice what happened. We broke to the new highs, and now we're just stopping there. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do this, guys, but if we do, right, if we do get below the $900 level like that, then we're probably going to see a big retracement down, or should I say at least a retracement down to around about this level here. There's a bit of a gap here, so we're probably going to get down to around the $650 level. So for people that are bullish right now, Tesla, because it's been going up to all-time new highs, and oh my goodness, it's so good, this here could be just like I shared with you a while ago, right? I was saying with the markets, the market loves doing this, right? It loves giving one little final push to the upside, and then it crashes, just like we saw on the S&P, right? Just like we saw back here, we had a high point, it broke to new highs, get people long, and then crashes. The markets love to do that, and even with the Nasdaq as well too, right? We can see what's happening there on the Nasdaq. Broke up to new high, and now we're starting to break back down from there. So once again, bringing up Tesla, guys. I'm not saying it is, guys, because we could just continue up from here. Even if we do continue up, guys, Tesla is Tesla's way overstretched right now, guys. Way overstretched. If I bring up this weekly chart, look at this here, right? Absolutely big move up. Guys, this is not going to end well when it comes to Tesla. If Tesla keeps going up from here, it's creating even more, all right? This is not a V bottom. This is a V bubble right now. And we need to come in, and the market needs to come back into some equilibrium. Right, a good healthy market is where we go for a big run and then we have a pullback, right? And then we go for a big run. Right now we're going for a big run, right? We went from, look at this here. Look at last time. Last time I went for a big run. Look what happened. Bam, right? And now look what's happening through here. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys. And the key for me to see that bam coming in Tesla would be just like I shared with you here, right? Here's what's happening right now. Broke above new highs. If we get back, if we break back below 900, then I see at least a 50% retracement. So I draw the Fibonacci from the low to the high point, and that 50% level there would be a target for me. If we get below 900, I see 700, even probably down to 650, because we have a bit of a gap there. That's probably likely to get filled. So if you're thinking about jumping into Tesla, I'm not telling you what to do, guys. Right now, maybe long-term Tesla looks good but on a more of an active person. On a short-term, maybe next sort of couple months, or should I say the next week, watch out for that, because if we break below 900, we could definitely see a movement to the downside. So either way, guys, trading can be such an amazing thing out there if you know what to look for and if you know what to do. And obviously that's what I teach in my coaching program, right? So if you'd like to get my #1 trading strategy, get me as your coach, then just email me at howtrader@gmail.com, and the first person gets that special that I mentioned at the start of this video.